e azul, Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Ozempic.
Type 2 diabetes?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Discover the Ozempic Trizone. My Ozempic Trizone, I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events, such as stroke, heart attack, or death, in adults also with known heart disease. And you may lose weight. Adults lost up to 14 pounds. Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with the sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Micro Machine Man here, presenting the genuine original, colossally flexible, most midget miniature replica of the real things. Micro Machines. Dramatically detailed, tremendously styled, small little nut, this one or this one. And now with a totally terrific town. The new Micro Machine Super City Toolbox playset. Closed, it's a mild manner toolbox. Open, it's a Micro Machine USA. Cruise your mini Micro Machine vehicles, planes, and boats to the police station, the marina, the mini motorcycle repair shop, the gas station, the construction office, work, the real working drawbridge, highway, passenger ramp, and garage doors. Or take a Micro Machine flying machine in for a landing. Phew, this place has it all. The new Micro Machine Super City Toolbox playset from Glue. The one and only outrageous original miniatures. Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machine,
Ask your healthcare provider about the Ozempic Trizone.
You may pay as little as $25.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know where to begin with this commercial, but I always wanted to make a podcast about Ozempic, and I've been waiting on it for a few years, and I'll tell you why. Simply because I tried Ozempic, and I tried it in 3 different segments in the last 2 years. So I really wanted to give you a good idea what it's all about, and did it work for me? And well, if you look at me, it clearly didn't. But I really wanted to give it a good assessment. But of course, we all know about these classic commercials. Oh, Ozempic. It's very catchy. But then I thought to myself, I've heard this somewhere before.
Don't worry about it. You're still in good shape. All you gotta do is just tap it in. Just tap it in now. Hey, just tap it in.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Grandma, 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 grandma.
He's gonna be on the tour. That's super. That's cute.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A little movie that was called Happy Gilmore, starring Adam Sandler, a very young Slim Shady, the woman that played the mother in Modern Family, Shooter McGavin, and the great Carl Weathers. He was fantastic in this. I'm very glad they didn't go with OJ. Just stab it in. Just stab it in. Speaking of unnecessary stabbings, Ozempic didn't clearly work for me, but maybe it'll work for you. So I just want to say this right off the bat. I am not a doctor, okay? I don't care what you do with Ozempic. This podcast is just for entertainment purposes. So what I say here does not go. Okay, so I don't want to be sued here Okay, I got nothing to do with this shit. I'm just voicing my opinion. If you don't like it, bafangul. But as always, I like to go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, because free is good, especially when I just saw on the news today that Toronto may or may not still receive recession attributes. But who knows? Seems like maybe the rest of the world might, so I don't know. We might just jump in. But we'll see what happens. Until then, so Wikipedia doesn't call it Ozempic. I'm sure that's the cool name. The real name for it is Semaglutide. Okay? Rolls right off the tongue. So whenever I see this word, I'm just going to say Ozempic because it's easier. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. Ozempic is an anti-diabetic medication used for the treatment of type 2 diabetes and an anti-obesity medication used for long-term weight management. It was developed by Novo Nordisk. That's it. Novo Nordisk. That's a. I mean, it's either that or he invented Atari. It was approved for his use in the U.S. in 2017. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was like 6 years ago. That's it? They didn't, I mean, I hope to God they actually, did their research before, right? They didn't just, do this one weekend in a lab and go, hey, fuck it. 6 years. Holy shit. Fuck, I should have did my research. Anyways, it is a peptide similar to the hormone glucagon, like peptide 1. In brackets, it's got here GLP-1, which they did mention in the commercial, I think. I have no idea what that means. I don't know, which really proves that, I don't know, people just put anything in their body. Modified with a side chain. It can be administered by subcutaneous injection or taken orally. It is sold under the brand names Ozempic injectable, which means you can just pop it in your skin there, and Ribelsus, which is the pill form, for diabetes. And under the brand name Wegovy, or maybe Wegovy, depends how you want to pronounce it that day, for weight loss. Okay, so I guess at this point I should say the actual word. Okay, Semaglutide. Hey, I tried, right? Is a glucagon like peptide 1 receptor agonist. The most common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and constipation. In 2020, semaglutide was the 129th most commonly prescribed medication in the United States with more than 4 million prescriptions. Ladies and gentlemen, it has definitely gone up since then. Now keep in mind, 2020, that's when the pandemic hit, and I'm sure people were just chilling inside, freaking out like always, and they figured, hey, now's a great time to lose weight and, just get fatter and, let's get thin and let's not exercise. So I'm sure it's a shortcut for a lot of people. Now, like I said before, I took it because of type 2 diabetes that I have. It's like I said, I took it in 3 different, segments there over 2 years. And it didn't work for me. I mean, listen, I was bored during COVID too, but, I don't know, I did other shit. I watched... I watch The Office like everybody else. But a lot of people are just thinking to themselves, okay, now it's a thing I can use to lose weight. And a lot of people don't give a shit. Recently I go to, the pharmacist there. And the last time I got it, I couldn't even get a full 3 month supply. I had to get a 1 month supply because it's on back order. And then I saw even a thing online that they might stop making it, and because people are just using it, for the wrong reasons to lose weight, and nobody really cares that it's actually meant for a serious disease. So, yeah. But hey, fuck it. If everybody can sing the song and it just sticks in your head, right? I didn't even know the band's name, and I had to do my research on that. It's actually a band called Pilot, and according to Wikipedia here, Pilot is a Scottish rock group. That's right, they're Scottish. I thought it was weird too because they have a song called Canada, so I just assumed they were Canadian. It's a great song too. Formed in 1973 in Edinburgh by David Patton and Billy Lyall. They are best known for their songs January, Magic, which is the song that we heard that's been butchered through many commercials, 4 as I can count on YouTube. I just like this one because I thought it was very interesting. We're going to get into it in a little bit, but Just a Smile and Call Me Round. There you go. So, if you're a fan of this group and want to download their greatest hits, Stop and Let Go, that's a good one. No Ties, No Strings, that's a classic too. And Do Me Good, which is ironic because this fucking shit didn't do me any good. But again, I'm going to get into that later. I'm going to end the podcast with that. First off, okay, let's get into this, magical commercial here. So let's start with the obvious. They couldn't afford David Alan Grier, so they figured, you know what, we're going to get a guy that looks pretty close to him. Now, as I mentioned before, they mentioned a thing called A1C. I have no idea what that means. So I've been diabetic here for about 10 years, so I figured I'm going to use this thing called Google and look up what it means. Now it says ACAIC information criterion. God only knows if I said the first word right. ACAIC. Okay. Information criterion AIC is a single number score that can be used to determine which of multiple models is most likely to be the best model for a given data set. It estimates models relatively, meaning that AIC scores are only useful in comparison with other AIC scores for the same data set.
How about I just go eat some hay? I can make things out of clay and lay by the bay. I just may. What do you say?
Ladies and gentlemen, that made more sense to me than what I just read on Google. But the point is, I'm sure it's a good thing. I guess. I mean, I don't know, but the commercial is really trying to demonstrate between David and his son here that I don't know that's important, and for some reason they keep checking out tires. I don't know. It's I don't know what that has to do with losing weight. I guess, I mean, you'll be full of less air or maybe more air, and you'll feel lighter. I don't know. Here's something funny about this commercial. For some reason, like it shows a family here that has 4 very different nationalities between them, and they seem to be at some kind of ranch that they're trying to lasso or learn how to become a cowboy or something. And again, I'm going to sound racist or nothing, but I'm pretty sure the one woman here might be, Can I say native anymore, or is that racist now? Or I don't know. I don't know what anything means anymore. I'm just being honest. I don't know. I mean, people that have listened to this podcast, I'm sorry for wasting your time, but yeah, I mean, you can see the irony here, right? So like, I don't have to point it out. Plus, I don't know, the one kid here, it looks like he's way too young to have glasses that thick. I don't know, like even Buddy Holly didn't have shit like that as a kid. But anyways, and then it shows another couple. They just opened a retro arcade. So I don't know, when you lose weight, I don't know, want to play more video games from the 80s? Maybe that's the whole theme here, because I think the song is from the 80s, and you know they're doing things from the 80s, and people were thinner in the 80s. You know, remember in the 80s where like people didn't use, well, I mean they did use, you know, like one drug, you know, to stay skinny, but I don't think that was any better. But and then it shows the same family there. They're posing like, again, they're, I don't know, like at the old time Western, you know, and I don't know, it reminds me of that Seth MacFarlane movie, you know, like, I mean, it had some good laughs and whatever, but I don't know, it wasn't as good as Ted, I guess. But and then it shows the first black father and son at a monster truck rally. Now this is important. This is important because I remember growing up in the 90s, you know, seeing like all these crazy commercials, you know, on the Fox network, you know, really like endorsing this shit. And I never saw one black person in the crowd. I'm sorry. I just, like, remember that one scene in Borat, you know, where it shows, you know, like him falling off the horse. Again, I don't see any black people there. Again, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Overall, guys, what I'm trying to say is this commercial, I don't think did any research whatsoever. Like, even the last little part here, it says, like, if you know, do your research and all that shit, you can get as, like, Ozempic as low as $25 a month. That is complete bullshit. Now, maybe it's different in the States. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. You know, I mean, you can get, like, fucking dick hard pills at gas stations there. I mean, it is a pretty cool country because of that. But at the same time, it is a very, you know, very scary country because of the same reasons. But again, like in Canada here, it is extremely expensive if you're going to just pay, you know, outright for it. I think it's anywhere close to, give or take, like $300. And we're talking like a month's supply. So that's only 4 weeks because you're supposed to use it like once a week, right? And that's it. So I mean, are these commercials effective? Maybe they are. I mean, like out of the 4 here, I mean, the one commercial here only has 51K, which again, I am no person to, you know, be complaining about. But hey, if you do actually like this podcast for some reason, please subscribe. Trying to get 1,000 subscriptions here. But you know, it's up to you. I don't care. You know, you want to take like Ozempic or not do it or not subscribe. It's up to you. I'm not like that. But apparently they have changed this song since then. I don't know. I guess the rights went out. I guess. I mean, they do say it's easier just to you know, buy a few seconds of a song rather than come up with your own jingle. I mean, that could cost a lot of money, but it does get in your head. I mean, it sticks in there. But yeah. It like again, ladies and gentlemen, it really didn't work for me, Ozempic. It didn't, you know. But you know, I tried to use it for medical uses only. I don't expect to lose more weight. I think I'm the first person in history to lose 100 pounds and still be considered technically obese. But hey, things happen. Things happen. At least I have my head. Never mind. The point is, it says here, medical uses. Semaglutide is indicated as an adjunct to diet and exercise to improve glycemic control in adults with type 2 diabetes. Again, with me, it didn't work. That's complete bullshit. If anything, I mean, it's supposed to slow down your hunger a bit, and at times it did for me, but not really. I mean, it kind of, I don't know, it made me miss food more. You know, it's kind of like when you're in the desert, you know, and I mean, like you're limited to what food you can have, but that's because you're in the desert, you know. So if you're able to actually get food, yeah, you're gonna want to eat, you know. But you know, if you're sitting on the couch and your stomach is hurting for hours on end, then yeah, you're probably not gonna feel like eating either until you wake up the next day and then realize, oh yeah, I could eat, but oh I'm still on Ozempic, and it still, hurts a lot. But hey, teach his own, eh? The higher dose formulation of semaglutide is indicated as an adjunct to diet and exercise for long-term weight management in adults with obesity. Initial body mass index, BMI, nobody cares, or who are overweight, more bullshit, okay, and have at least one weight-related comorbidity. Oral semaglutide is marketed in three strengths. 3 milligrams, 7 milligrams, and 14 milligrams. The subcutaneous injection of semaglutide is available in 4 strengths, which is 0.25 milligrams, 0.5 milligrams, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams. Okay, so this I'm more common with, obviously. Again, I am not a doctor. Don't fucking listen to me. But when I started this shit, it was on the low dose. You do that for a month, and then you gradually work your way up. So, again, you got to consult with a doctor here. They might tell you to do it faster. I don't know. I don't want to be responsible for this shit. But adverse effects, which means shit that's going to definitely fuck you up. Not definitely, but there's a good chance it might, it probably, depending on the fast talking commercial there. Possible side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, abdominal pain, headache, fatigue, indigestion, heartburn, dizziness, abnormal detention, belching, hypoglycemia, low blood glucose, which is low sugar there, in patients with type 2 diabetes, flatulence, which a lot of people don't know, that means farting, gastroenteritis, and gastroesophageal. Lots of farting, okay? Just, back away. Reflux disease, which is a GERD, okay? You couldn't have told me that the first time here, how to make an ass of myself here. Farting. It can also cause pancreatitis, gastropharesis, and bowel obstruction. Holy fuck. Sign me up, doc. I'm not gonna lie. I had all these. This is fucking crazy. Sorry, I didn't catch everything that, Speedy Gonzalez said in the commercial there, but holy fuck. Contraindications. Oh boy, there's more. Data from rodent studies of GLP-1 medicated thyroid C-cell hyperplasia indicates that use is contradicted in people with a personal or family history of medullary thyroid carcinoma, or with multiple endocrine neoplasia type 2. Oh, Christ. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting bored too. I hear you. But so again, just talk to your doctor about this shit. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what this does. It talks a lot of bullshit here about, the different codes and, the medicines. It's got some kind of chart here, which, I don't know, to me is like reading the Matrix. And then it says here, so this is important. It says here, a 2022 review of anti-obesity treatments found that semaglutide, as well as tirzepatide, I would have never made it through med school, which has an overlapping mechanism of action, were more promising than previous anti-obesity drugs. although less effective than bariatric surgery. Okay, so again, I don't know. I just assume they don't know what the fuck is going on here either. Okay. Oh God, there's a long list of legal status here. Okay, let's just read the last one here. In October 2023, Belgium announced it was considering a temporary ban on Ozempic for use as a weight loss medication amid a sharp increase in demand leading to a shortage of the drug, which was expected to last into mid-2024. The government had previously advised medical professionals to prescribe the drug only to diabetics and not their friends that pay them on the side. No, I'm kidding. No, come on. A little humor here. A similar order had been issued by the way, I mean, do you think people are doing that? You think some doctors are just like, let me just give it to this fat fuck here, and let's just see what happens, because let's be honest, a lot of doctors out there, you guys do shit by the book, and I get it. You go to medical school, you wasted your 20s, and then you're all angry and shit, because the best years have gone by, and and then you're like, you know what, I don't care, just here, you seem fat, just punch this in your arm, for a few months, if there's any improvement, then I look like a good guy. If not, then hey, I didn't guarantee anything, so who knows. Farts. By the government of the United Kingdom earlier that month, additionally prohibiting new prescriptions for type 2 diabetics. Skittles? No. Yeah, so again, listen, a lot of people are fucking this up. Let's just be honest. Again, like I said before, like I went to the, what is it, a few months ago to get the, prescription filled. And yeah, there's a shortage. They told me that a lot of people can't even get it until, the next year. And, people are just fucking screwed. So it is pretty crazy here. So it even says here, economics here. It says here, in the U.S., Wegovy, which is a great name, by the way, has a list price of $1,349.02 per month as of 2022, according to the New York Times, suggesting that because of the high costs, many people, in quotations, who could most benefit from weight loss may be unable to afford such expensive drugs. High costs of Ozempic promoted some insurance companies to investigate and refuse to cover patients with what the companies considered was insufficient evidence to support a diabetes diagnosis, alleging off-label prescribing for weight loss. Which again, guys, what I just said about doctors, just saying, hey, let's just see what happens, could be actually true. I mean, we don't know. Okay? And of course, you know what this means? Counterfeits. So that's what it says here. It says in October 2023, there were reports of counterfeit Ozempic pens being sold in Europe. The pens possibly contained insulin and led to several people being hospitalized with hypoglycemia and seizures. In Germany, bogus injection pens with German labels, it's always the Germans, in genuine Ozempic packaging were allegedly supplied by the wholesaler in Austria to Germany and to that's the number two, British wholesalers. No counterfeits had been sold by retail pharmacies. There you go. So people are literally going in alleyways, ladies and gentlemen, and meeting people, who knows, maybe in the sewers, maybe some Ninja Turtles, to actually get this fucking shit, okay? They're treating this shit like fucking heroin. I mean, they got to get it like outside their doctor. But again, it's one of these drugs where, keep in mind, like, obviously you're going to lose weight in, or lose up to 14 pounds, whatever, within a year, which by the way, I've lost, I'm not saying this to brag or nothing, but, well, maybe a little, like 100 pounds way less than a year, okay? But I was, fat as fuck. I was like 340. Then I got down to like 217, whatever. And, so like if you're losing, only 14 pounds and, like literally doing nothing else, you are completely wasting your time. And it's not really the Ozempic. I mean, maybe a little bit it is, but you're basically just wasting everyone else's fucking time that can actually, use this shit, for, actual diabetes instead of just, I don't know, just, throwing up in public bathrooms like, most people do. But hey, it's just fucking crazy. It really is. But let me just wrap it up with this. It says research, a bunch of shit, blah, 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 blah. I'll just say the last paragraph here. It says in July 2023, the Icelandic Medicines Agency reported 2 cases of suicidal thoughts and 1 case of self-injury of users of the injection, prompting a safety assessment of Ozempic. Wegovy, again, really, I don't know, for some reason I look at that word and I think of Sigourney Weaver. I don't know why. I'm not going to be here long, and similar drugs. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is really fucking scary. Honestly, like no bullshit, okay? Like now people are taking this drug so much and so often, they're not doing enough research, I mean, they did research that they found out this happens, but, before they released this drug, which again, just came out in 2017, which a lot of people say that, I mean, it's just way too soon for it to come out, and not a lot of research has been done, long-term side effects. I mean, obviously they're talking about this, but I mean, that is fucking scary. So that is another reason why I am extremely glad I am not taking this shit anymore. But for other reasons, obviously. But yeah, that is scary. So again, just talk to your doctor. You find out more information, everything you can here. I mean, but it's common sense for everything. Like you wouldn't... I mean, yeah, you probably would, but the point is, do your research, okay? But again, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it has worked for some people, and, of course, I don't know what, normal people it's worked for. I'm the only person that I know in, the vicinity that has actually taken it. But of course, let's be like the rest of the world and turn to celebrities, okay? So let's go to usmagazine.com. For those of you who are 25 and under, still wondering what a magazine is, I don't have time to explain that, but it involves paper. Now, most of the times you will see these magazines right when before you purchase your grocery items and the cash. A lot of times, we think we're only going to spend maybe $10, and we go to the cash, and it ends up being $44.95. But it gives us something to read in the meantime. All right. So, what we got here? Chelsea Handler. Okay, so she said, admitting during a January 2023 episode of the Call Her Daddy podcast that she unknowingly took the type 2 diabetes medication, which is traditionally used to improve glycemic control. She explained her anti-aging doctor prescribed her Semaglutide, which is another name for Ozempic. Duh. But Handler stopped using it after learning more. Oh. She said, I'm not on it anymore. That's too irresponsible. Handler clarified, I'm not an irresponsible drug user, but I'm not going to take a diabetic drug. Oh, okay, good for her. I always like Chelsea Handler. She seems like a pretty tough chick, you know what I mean? I don't know, it reminds me of like basically every chick I ever went out with that's from Scarborough. There's a Toronto reference for you. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, I commend her. I really do. And hey, listen, she didn't know she was even taking it. I mean, again, like, see, that's the problem. I mean, like doctors, and again, I'm not shitting on doctors again, but a lot of times they just prescribe us shit, and we're just like, yeah, doc, okay, yeah, sure, no, I trust you, don't worry, yeah. And again, I'm not, trying to, whatever with doctors, but yeah, a lot of us are just assume that, they know what they're talking about. We know, we're putting it in our bodies because, the doctor told us it's okay. So, like, we don't know. We don't know. A lot of us just like, fuck it. The doctor knows what he's talking about. Let's just, let's just do what the doctor says. And, she knows what's best for us. And, you notice how there I said he and she? You see, I don't want to get in shit there. You can't call me sexist. There you go. The point is, just do your research, okay? Again, do your research, aka Google like me. You will find everything, okay? Nobody goes to libraries anymore, do they? I mean, who knows? But we got Tracy Morgan here. Okay, so recently it's funny that I'm coming across this because I just saw Tracy Morgan on one episode of the Dark Side of Comedy, which is a really good special that Vice has talking about comedians and, surprise, surprise, there's a dark side. So they had one segment where they were talking about, Tracy here, who I love, by the way. I mean, the guy's fucking hilarious. To quote the great late Norm Macdonald, Tracy Morgan, he's like a real black guy. Amen to that. But like he talked about one time where he woke up and he literally woke up blind. And he didn't even know he was a diabetic, and he's been, not even treating it, but he didn't take any medication for it, nothing. And then that's how he found out he was pretty much diabetic. So from there, he's, being off and on, whatever. And then at one point, he had really bad diabetes that he got a ankle bracelet because, he dealt with some legal shit there, whatever, for like a DUI or something, and it would dig into his skin and it would create such a irritation for his skin that it wouldn't heal right, because like when you're a diabetic, it takes forever to heal. It's kind of like when you see like Wolverine get shot in the head there, and then he's just awake 5 seconds later. So if we get a tiny paper cut, I mean, it takes us fucking 5 weeks to heal. You know what I mean? So it's the complete reverse effect. I don't think it's that bad that I have to call an ambulance, but again, I'm not that far from a hospital. But just in case, I do go into diabetic shock, I can, just walk a few blocks there. But anyways, if you connect all the dots, you can figure it out yourself. But anyways, so he said, it says here, Morgan surprised fans in August 2023 when he revealed during a Today with Hoda and Jenna appearance that he was using Ozempic. He said, "No, that's Ozempic." That's not bad, right? I'll stop. That's how this weight got lost. He said when talking about his health journey. He said, "I went and got a prescription and I got Ozempic and I ain't letting it go." And they said, "Are you really on Ozempic?" Hoda, how do you say her last name? Kotb? I don't know. And Jenna Bush Hagar, that's better. Hagar, like Sammy Hagar? Yeah, maybe. Asked to which Morgan replied, "Yeah, I take Ozempic every Thursday." Why Thursday? Who the fuck knows? I mean, as long as you take it a week, whatever. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's the prepping for the weekend. Who knows? Cuts my appetite in half. He then joked, "I only eat half a bag of Doritos." Well, I don't buy that shit. What's her name? Shia Shia. I don't know. I don't know how to say that name. I don't know who she is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. Oh, Raven Simone. I know her. Yeah. That's so Raven. She said, "I have pre-diabetes and diabetes in my family." Hey, join the club. Raven's House star told E! News in July 2023. I don't know, it must be a trend in 2023 or something. Everyone's just taking it at the same time here. "If I'm not careful with my intake with types of foods, I am more subsidable. Yeah, I'm more prone. Just keep it simple. to getting diabetes. So I think it's very important we understand certain medications are made for certain people and to not take that away just for glamazon purposes. I agree. I mean, she's right. So, okay, so she's basically saying, let's. I assume this is what she's saying. I don't know. I'm not a representative. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that crazy guy that she worked with on That's So Raven. Have you seen that guy lately? I don't know. That guy's holy shit.
Legs this way, and then
So so Raven doesn't take Ozempic. I don't know what the fuck Orlando Brown is on, but holy shit. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, you have to talk to your doctor. In Brown's case, I would talk to many doctors, but yeah, just consult your doctor, please. Just find out what the fuck is going on here. Lots of other celebrities I've never heard of have tried it as well. They want to try, don't try, whatever. Again, just do your research. But again, I do stress that you should take it, not to lose weight, but if you actually are recommended, from a non-backdoor doctor, to take it, then take it. I mean, I get it. In Hollywood, there's an obsession about weight and, trying to stay thin and, if you're already thin, you don't have to. Well, you shouldn't take it anyway. I mean, but like if you're already thin, I mean, you think you're fat and you think you actually need a magical drug that'll make you lose weight, then like Ozempic is definitely not your problem. But yeah, just seek help there. I mean, like, did anybody actually watch that show, or because of him, or I mean, just holy fuck. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I want to end the podcast with my stories here, which is always classic. If you ever listen to my podcast, Your Thoughts, I always give good stories there. But I'd like to just talk about Ozempic and my experiences with it. So, like I said, all right. Last 2 years, I took it off and on, not like, off and on, while taking the drug, like in just different spurts. Okay. So the first time, I was, I was recommended by my dickhead doctor, who actually, speaking of Your Thoughts podcast there, one of them is, talking about him. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it is very hard to find a good doctor. I cannot stress this enough. It's very hard. I mean, I found a really good one now, but it took a very long time. If anybody deserves a good doctor and a good facility, it's this guy right here. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, but yeah, he recommended taking me or taking this medication. But at the same time, I was taking another medication, which was not recommended to take both at the same time. When you take Ozempic, you're not supposed to take is that part of it? I lose part of my speech because of this shit. Anyway, I mean, who knows? Talk to me in 10 years. But anyways, yeah, you weren't supposed to do that. And like the other doctor said, like, he was shocked. He's like, really? He told you that? I'm like, yeah, he did. He was an idiot. So yeah, you're not supposed to. Now, I mean, with me, I'll be honest with you. I take metformin for my type 2 diabetes. And apparently you're not supposed to take that while you're taking Ozempic. And I did. So, because of that, I mean, it wasn't really working. I really didn't lose my appetite. I mean, it's, I'm Greek and Italian. It's very hard to do that anyway. The food is good on this side. But, yeah, at times I would feel pain and it really didn't work. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't like the fact I had to take a needle. Like there's a part of me, like I don't give a shit about needles. I'm one of those people. I mean, in the sense where I don't want to go beyond pills when it comes to my diabetes. Okay, you know, a lot of it is because of genetics. A lot of it, I'll admit, it was because of me. I was on a very shitty diet. I was 340, so I had to lose a lot of weight, you know, to I don't know, be alive for this brilliant podcast today. And you know, I just had to make sure, you know, everything was good. So I don't want to go beyond that. So that's why I don't want to go, you know, with like insulin and all that shit. So that's why. But yeah, you know, I took it for a bit, and it really didn't do anything. So I decided to just not take it. I mean, it kind of hurt my stomach a bit, and it just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't have a good feeling about it. It didn't mesh very well with me. So I only took it for a few months, but I didn't notice. I really didn't notice anything. I started on the low dose, and you work your way up, and like from the 0.25 to 0.5, whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever. So there you go. And then the second time I took it pretty much in the heart of COVID, you know. And again, I don't know if it's because of COVID or because of the Ozempic, but one day I got violently ill. I mean, I literally threw up, like I think I want to say give or take 9 times. And at times it was just all red, and it was just all, I guess it was just all blood, and it was just like a fountain. You know, it looked like, you ever see that movie with Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler there, and then he goes to the fountain, and it comes out fruit punch. I mean, it looked like that. It was just, you know, fucking disgusting. I mean, the movie was okay. John Turturro was the best character in that movie. But anyways, yeah, it was fucking crazy. I've thrown up a few times in my life, you know. I mean, that just usually means I had a good night, before. But, yeah, never like that, man. I mean, never that dark, never like blood like that. It was fucking crazy. So again, it might have been COVID. I don't know. I didn't officially get tested after, I'll admit that. But, it was pretty crazy. And yeah, at times I did get, I'm just reading off the shit here from good old Wikipedia. Yeah, I did get, a little nausea. You know, sometimes you feel a little lightheaded. Diarrhea, yep. Got a little bit of that at times. Not that much. The thing I don't understand is I don't know how you get diarrhea and constipation. So I really didn't get that. If everything is flowing correctly, then it's not going to stop, right? Abdominal pain, not really. Headache, not really. Fatigue, after a good meal, yeah, I always feel tired anyway, but not really. Indigestion, heartburn, not really. Dizziness, a little bit, a little bit. Abdominal tension there, belching, I'm always a big belcher. My mom, I mean, she belches like Barney Gumble, like holy fuck. Like I remember one time she just stepped in the living room one time and she's just like, hey, what are you guys doing in? Whoa, excuse me. What? I don't know where that came from. I'm like, yeah, I do. And like it's like Puff the Magic Dragon. Jesus Christ. It's crazy. But anyways, love you, Ma. Anyways, keep the biscotti coming. Anyways, low blood, yeah, a little low blood there, type 2, yeah, all that, whatever. But the main thing was with me just more. It's more the pain and the dizziness, and like the day. I can't speak for everybody that takes Ozempic, but it seems like the day after I take the shot, it's almost a write-off. So what I would do is I would take it like as late as I could, even like right before going to bed, and then I'll I don't know, worst case, even if I do feel sleepy or whatever, fatigue, at least I'm going to bed, so I'll just conk out. But there were days, I would take it like during the day or whatever, but then the next day I'd still feel fucked up. I'd just sit on the couch for hours and all fucked up. And like one thing I forgot to say is like the first time I started really taking it, I mean, there were days I'd wake up and I just felt fucked for 2-3 hours. I couldn't get off the couch. I was just too I don't know, it was almost like I was stoned or something. So it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I didn't feel it was working for me. Too much pain. I did lose weight though. I did lose weight. I probably lost, let's say 5 to 10 pounds probably, but it took me a while to get up to 2 milligrams because I did wait at least a few months there. And yeah, but I mean, for the most part, it just wasn't worth the pain. I didn't feel it was that much of a difference because then I'd still go up and down with my weight as a lot of diabetics do. So I was like, fuck it. Okay, so strike two. I'm not going to do it again. And then I started seeing, and at that time too, I found out that you're not supposed to take it with, thing, because I took it the third time, talked to my doctor about it, and he's like, okay, so take this, don't take the metformin. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So let's just do this again one more time. Let's see what the fuck happens here. So, oh yeah, so sorry, I forgot to mention, but yeah, so yeah, the second time I took it, I mean, there was a time where like in bed, I was lying in bed and I felt like I was gonna die. I literally it just felt like my stomach, somebody was inside twisting my stomach. It was just excruciating. I've never felt that kind of pain before. And I don't know, man, I thought at one point I was just gonna have to yell and for my neighbor to hear me or whatever the fuck, and just go from there. But thankfully it didn't get to that point. But yeah, a lot of stomach pain I felt even in both sessions so far, right? But especially the second one more. So yeah, the third time I took it, and yeah, it was probably I guess it was the best out of the three, I guess. But again, I mean, that stomach pain is just fucking brutal. But I did lose the most amount of weight. I would say, for the most part, I lost like 10 to 15 pounds, but then again, I'd go up again, and then I was at a standstill for a while, and I don't know. I mean, so it's funny they do say 14 pounds there, because yeah, that was about, yeah, like I said, 10 to 15 going up and down. So whatever. But again, the biggest thing was, and that's why I was sort of making fun of the fart thing before, the flatulence, as the classy people call it. It at one point it was fucking crazy, and I'm not even afraid to admit this, but like there was one night where I didn't even think, I was assuming it was because of the Ozempic, but I mean the farting was insane, absolutely insane. Like one night, okay, let's say within, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 hours. I'm not even exaggerating this, okay? I easily farted, like I'm gonna say easily, give or take 50 times. I'm not even exaggerating that. It might be anywhere between 50 to 60. It was fucking insane. And ladies and gentlemen, do you know the expression, if farts could kill? Like I was offended. I mean, like you're not supposed to be offended by your own farts, but I'm pretty sure this was a breakthrough in science. I mean, I would literally fart in a room. I would, that's what I did. So I would fart in another room, because it got to a point where it was just fucking, toxic, Brittany. And, I would literally fart in a room, leave for I swear to God, like 10 minutes, and come back, and it would still, smell like, like a fucking death. Like that's the only way I can explain it. Like if I lit a match, I mean, the whole burrow would have blew up. It's done. That's it. It's done. Like remember that episode of The Simpsons where like Bart like shook up the can of beer like in the paint machine there, and then like he waited for Homer to open it.
That sounded like an explosion at the old Simpson place.
Forget it. That's 2 blocks away.
Looks like there's beer coming out of the chimney.
I am proceeding on foot, calling it code 8.
We need pretzels. Repeat, pretzels.
I mean, I haven't watched that in a while. That's good. Remember when The Simpsons were good? Yeah, it was fucking crazy, and it wouldn't. I'm telling you, it wouldn't fucking go away. I mean, thank God I had a fan. I mean, it was fucking crazy, and again, I was just like reading all these, and yeah, I pretty much had most of these. I mean, like another big thing too was just kind of like dizziness, like you felt off, whatever. I mean, sometimes when you're a diabetic, you feel like that anyway, or like when you have to deal with your European parents. But in this case, I was just by myself, and yeah, you feel a little, like kind of like one of those like fucking balloon things, like, or I don't know what they're called, like the things that go back and forth, whatever, the thing that Donatello had to fight in Turtles 2. I don't know, when they couldn't use their weapons. What a disappointment. But anyways, yeah, but I felt most of these, and I was just at one point, like, I was pissing like crazy too, because again, I wasn't taking the metformin, so again, that fucked with my. I think if anything, my shit went all the way up. My whole sugar count there, and I just thought to myself, you know what? Like, this is not fucking worth it. I've done it 3 times. Fuck this. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't fucking do it. So, I was like, that's it. So I went back to the metformin. I still fart a good amount, but I do like chili. But yeah, other than that, I'm like, fuck it. It doesn't work for me. So listen, if it works for you, cool. I'm not saying, you should or should not use Ozempic, whatever. It is completely up to you. You do what you got to do. Okay. But all I'm saying is this, and I can't stress this enough. I am not a doctor. Despite having a kick-ass bell, I am no physician. Okay. So, do not listen to anything I've just said in this podcast unless you like to laugh or sort of laugh, and or maybe you just feel sorry for me. And go see a doctor and talk about why or why not you should take this drug that sounds like E.T.'s cousin that's named Ozempic.
I'm old school. I'm always like, how dare they use that song in a commercial? I'm like a rock and roll purist. You know that Ozempic that everyone's taking in Hollywood to stay skinny, but it's really a diabetes drug. They're using that song, it's magic. You know that song by Pilot? It's, they're like, it's Ozempic.
Well, they go, Ozempic, Howard.
Yeah. No, Ozempic. They can't do that. I get very, like, I sit there on my high horse and I go, I hate this.
Look out, California, California, here comes Canada.
Sometimes I'll do something and I'll think to myself, that is so Raven.